Bear down, Chicago Bears. We've got the return, potentially, of one of the better pass rushers in the league. I know he didn't work out the first season with Chicago, but he's continued to work out inside the Chicago facilities. He's continued to get himself back into a semblance of good shape, and he is looking for a move back to the Chicago Bears. That's the reason that he's here. Now, I apologize about being off a little bit. I was off for a couple days. Needed a few days off. But number one, Yannick Ngakoue is potentially, and this conversation was had about 3 weeks ago with Dave Wanstead, where he said, Yannick is one of those guys that came in last season during the early part of training camp and was on a 1-year contract, and now is probably looking to do the same thing to return to the Chicago Bears to get a bit of a discount from the Chicago Bears for this setup, which would be that, he had 4.5 sacks versus 8.5. He was injured, had some time off. So I think this is an opportunity for him to reprove himself and see if the Bears can fit him into this roster. Chicago has completely bolstered the offense and is in a significantly better place going into 2024. However, the defense could still use a few upgrades. As we sit right now, Kevin Byard, probably a tremendous upgrade over Eddie Jackson. Look, Eddie Jackson is always going to be kind of a hero to us. He had a few good years. However, once he got that big contract, he did not play at the same level that he was playing at before, leading people to start getting a little bit annoyed by that fact. But it looks like Kevin Byard stepping in, 2-time Pro Bowl selection. This is probably a significant upgrade. Other than that, there wasn't really any upgrades to the positions at all. Maybe you can make an argument for some backups, and losing Justin Jones and adding in Gervon Dexter. You don't know if that's an upgrade yet or not. Gervon Dexter, by the way, which we'll be talking about a little bit later, there's some NFL executives talking about him as maybe the next big defensive tackle in the league. Is that everybody? No. But it is a few of them talking about it. And we're going to talk about that in just a little bit. But the Bears have plenty of cap space available and could be in the market for a reunion to help on the defensive side of the football. Chicago was even called the top landing spot for Yannick Ngakoue by Bleacher Report Matt Holder, who says with Caleb Williams under center and a retooled offense, the Bears are widely expected to make a push for the playoffs this fall. While the Bears have one good pass rusher in Montez Sweat, the defense could use someone on the other side of Sweat to give him some help, and the best solution might be to re-sign a player from last year's squad. Now, the question would be, is there any opportunity for Yannick Ngakoue or anybody else? And by that, I mean Emmanuel Ogbah or Connor Williams, for that matter, coming in on the offense, because that is another point which we're going to talk about as well that could be in need of an upgrade. Do the Bears have the capital? Can they make this happen? Well, the likely answer is no. However, Yannick Ngakoue is coming off a career-low 4 sacks in Chicago last season because he suffered an ankle injury that limited him to just 13 games. Also, he was productive during his limited time that he was playing with Montez Sweat, bringing on the quarterback twice in 5 contests, while the latter commanded the offense's attention. Now, if that happens again and Yannick Ngakoue is on the other side, then that is a great opportunity. Now, that would mean that Yannick Ngakoue becomes the guy for obvious pass rushing downs. I think the Bears really want to see what they have in DeMarcus Walker before they make this move. That's why they're going to wait until after it starts. Training camp, I mean. So I don't know that we're going to see anything about Yannick Ngakoue in the current time frame. Once we get to once we die, then perhaps this becomes something better. Maybe we see something camera, and thus my connection might be having a little bit of an issue. I'm seeing